Well, guys, welcome back to part 2 of this week's Weekend Roundup, where we're going to take a look at the placeables and scripts released in the Giants Mod Hub for the week of May 6th through May 10th, 2019. First up, we're going to take a look at a galvanized gate. This mod is by NicoPix and is for all platforms. Go to placeables, and let's try miscellaneous. See if we luck out. Decoration. See if we luck out. Here we are. So we have a galvanized gate in 4 meters and 5 meters width. This would clearly be best utilized in a placeable fence area. Let's first see how this thing rotates. It does rotate along one of its fence posts. Looks like the fence post that has the hinge. Put that down here. And then let's look at the 5 meter variant. And it rotates along fence post axis that has the hinge on it. Pretty convenient. Put that one right here. Let's go over here and take a look at these. Click on them. They open approximately, 90 degrees? Yep. Pretty decent animations on the locking mechanism. Bolt slides. So straightforward. Pretty cool. And that, again, is the galvanized gate by NicoPix, and it is available for all platforms. Next up, we're going to take a look at a decorative item called bunched firewood. Let's go ahead and take a look here. For decorations, I have the bunched firewood mod by Cam Uharo. This mod is also available for all platforms. They can pull these down. See, when we put them down, it does change the ground a little bit around it to a dirt color. And all this really is just a bunch of firewood, all kind of bound up in a wire band, kind of a round ball. Kind of interesting. Something you could just put, outside the farmhouse or just scattered around as decoration. Pretty cool. Next up, we're going to take a look at the placeable ramp. Now, this is interesting because we had 2 of these this week. One was released right here by Mapper's Paradise. That's the first one we're going to take a look at. And then the following day, or the day after that, it was either the day or the day after, 2 days after, we had the placeable ramp right here that was released. And I remember making a comment that I thought it was kind of interesting to see. It is kind of interesting to see similar mods like this show up so close to each other. So, given the amount of mods that have been released or submitted to the Mod Hub, that these mods, who knows, they could have been submitted weeks apart. They could have been submitted months apart, or they could have been submitted the same day. And they've gone through who knows how many iterations of submission, fail, submission, fail. But at any rate, to have 2 mods that serve very much the same purpose, just, slightly different concepts upon the same thing, get released within just a day or two, it just can't help but get the sense that the second mod that gets released is kind of like an imitation of the first, where that's not what really happened, because both of these were in development at the same time by completely different people. Neither probably had a clue that the other was working on anything, let alone that they were both actually in testing at pretty much the same time with Giants. The way this one works is you come up here and you left click, and it basically raises the ramp, raises some ramp guards, and then raises a ramp stop there. And when you don't want it, just come up here, left click again, and the whole thing comes back down. Pretty cool. Had this type of a mod in 17. I don't know who developed it or where it really came from. Here we have a version from Mapper's Paradise in 19. This particular mod is available for all platforms. Since we're talking about ramps, we might as well talk about the placeable concrete ramp. This one came out, according to the Mod Hub, it came out 2 days after the Mapper's Paradise ramp came out. Now we know that it definitely wasn't submitted and passed within 2 days. So this has been clearly something that was in development, in testing for some period of time in a concurrent state with the Mapper's Paradise one. This one is by Gamer HZS and is also available for all platforms. This is not a movable ramp. This is pretty much a stationary object. Ramp up here, and we've got a piece of timber bolted to the end to act as kind of a wheel stop. Don't drive off the edge of the ramp. Pretty handy for all kinds of things if you're maybe loading a trailer load of manure spreader with the manure spreader, or just loading up whatever. Placeable concrete ramp. Next up, we're going to take a look at the placeable large cow pasture. This is by ATZEFR and is available for all platforms. Go to animal pins. We have the large cow pasture, $350,000, holds 200 cows. Let's compare that to the in-game large cow pasture of $300,000, and again holds 200 cows. Now the in-game version has $300 a day cost, as this one is $400 a day cost. Then put this thing down. Wowzers. A lot bigger than the in-game version. Let's go ahead and just put down the in-game version just for funsies. Great. Thought it was bigger. So let's pretend we're going to put it over top. There, if we would, that is pretty darn. There you go. So that is superimposed on top of the other one. Okay, using place anywhere. And you can see the size difference between the in-game one and the modded version. I'm not actually going to do that. Building is the same. Milk trigger, same. Food trough here in the front is the same. Expect the animal bibe trigger is still in the same area. Buy one. We have our slurry in our manure here. But the water trough, the inside. One in here. We have our straw trigger right there. We have our water trigger. That's interesting. We have a bench and a trash can. Just sit here and I guess, check out our cows. Just chill out, maybe eat our lunch. We're done, toss our lunch into the trash can. But I really think maybe the trash can would probably need to empty that out when we leave, because I suspect the cows might want to eat it also. That's pretty cool. If you're looking for something that's different, well, it's definitely different. Not in a bad way, not in a good way. It's just definitely different. Indifferent on the indifferency, on the difference of this building. But again, it gives it a little bit of character. Now, in the screenshots, it shows trees. In the description, it says basically with seating under the tree. And in this picture, it shows trees, but I don't see any trees, when we put it down. That's interesting. I've seen this before. When I was testing a farmhouse pack by Mr. Mazzoni, I saw this, where he had a mod. He had a modded farmhouse that included a big like oak tree in the mod pack house right next to the house. And I put it down once, I had the oak tree show up. Every other time I put it down, the oak tree never showed up. So I guess your mileage may vary with respect to if the trees actually show up. Whoa, cow, what are you doing? If the trees actually show up or not when you put this down. But at any rate, we have the Placeable Large Cow Pasture by ATZEFR, and it is available for all platforms. Next up, we're going to take a look at the Placeable Fertilizer Tanks by Vertex Design. Let's see, is it miscellaneous? Indeed, it is. We have the Liquid Fertilizer Tank, $5,500. Put that one down, and then we have the Herbicide Tank, also for $5,500. Both of those down. And these are not storage tanks, these are bulk purchase points. This works. You come up here to the control panel, you left click, and the pipe rotates out. So, and then now you have the fill point. Same with the herbicide tank. Now, regretfully, these do not appear to have any sort of labeling or stickers to them. So what that means is you kind of have to know which one is which, or you just play the roulette game of what's going to happen when I bring my sprayer up here. I'm going to start filling the wrong fill type. I think it would be pretty cool if either we had the icon here on the side of the tank, or if we had just the icon here on this control panel. That would be pretty neat. What would else be pretty cool is if you could come up here and if you left mouse clicked, you activated fertilizer. If you right mouse clicked, you activated herbicide. That would be pretty neat too. At any rate, that is the liquid fertilizer and the herbicide tanks by Vertex Design, and it is also available for all platforms. Now, in the mod description, it says that there are basically some required mods, and these are basically, I think, the tanker trailers that you can use, basically transport liquid fertilizer and herbicide. Let's take a look real quick and just see that is indeed the case. Yes, it is indeed the case. So if you go to the FarmSim website, see that there are two required mods. There is a MBP9 and an FMSZ2K, both by Patyez, Patyez modding. And both of those, I think, are basically transport trailers that have been configured to allow you to transport liquid fertilizer and herbicide. Let's move on to the next placeable, which is a swimming pool for decoration. So, what better than for a farmer to basically be able to chill out and relax in a swimming pool after a hard day out on the farm. Got here for $2,200 a small swimming pool, above ground unit by Moose Agar. This mod is available for all platforms. Like I said, nice hot summer day. Get in here in the pool, just chill out, kind of sit down and just float here at your neck height. Basically, let all the worries of the day and all of that soothe away. Pretty cool. Next up, we have the pallet racking system by Rick Black Label TWD Modding. So he had a few other mods this week. Good week for Rick. Let's see if we can't find this thing. It's under decoration. Here it is. We have pallet racking, $2,500. Let's put it down here. Some folks like this. I've never been too keen on spending time basically racking my pallets. But, if you're into that kind of thing, basically put this down, and then you can bring your seed and fertilizer pallets in here and basically stack them on racks. You could have 3 layers, one on the bottom, on the first row, and some on the top row. Pretty cool. Pretty interesting. And if not anything else, you could just put it down as a decorative object. Again, this is by Rick Black LaBelle, TWD Modding. Now, the last placeable we're going to take a look at is the small BGA. So this is a placeable BGA, and this is a pretty cool concept. So on PC, we have seen placeable BGAs before. We've seen them in building packs. We've seen them standalone, and now we have a small BGA that has been submitted to the Mod Hub and is available for all platforms by Land Land MENSCH. Let's see here. It's under miscellaneous. Here it is indeed. The Wild Bach Biogas, 3,200 kilowatt, $124,800. This is $50 a day. It is very small. Put it inside our cow pen, should we so wish. Rotate this. Now it does seem to rotate at an interesting point here, kind of off to the side. Down. Check if we check. It does put a hotspot here on the map, and it does add a second biogas plant here. Now this is the modded version, because this particular biogas plant accepts potatoes, sugar beets, silage, hay, straw, and grass, as well as manure. Pretty cool. Same pricing as the standard biogas plant. This one also accepts straw. So the new adds are straw, sugar beets, and potatoes for this particular biogas plant. And as with any biogas plant, what you put in, you get product out. So if you put potatoes in, you put straw in, or sugar beets in, you'll also get digestate out right here at this particular trigger. That is a pretty cool concept. Works just like standard in-game biogas plants. In the product that you put in, we're limited to 50,000 liters. Actually, it looks like you're limited to, according to the description, it looks like you're limited to 10,000 liters. So let's go ahead and just test something here. Trying to get, let's get this trailer. Let's get a tractor here real quick. And I want to basically fill this up with sugar beets. And I wanted to try something. I wanted to see if, one, you could tip a trailer into this particular mod, or if it required a bucket. Let's get sugar beets. Fill it up real quick. This is just a placeable silo that I have that allows me to basically put any type of fill type in that I need in order to do testing and other such things. So what I want to test is, one, can you bring a trailer up and basically dump in front of the digester? If that doesn't work, I'm going to put the placeable ramp in and see if I can back up and dump in. I doubt that will work if the first doesn't work. And then, if neither work, then I'm just going to get a wheel loader and a bucket and basically scoop this in. But I want to see if you're indeed limited to 10,000 liters at a time. But I do know this works just like the in-game BGA in that you get paid out at midnight. Okay. We didn't get the dump trigger. Check. We have closed tip side back. Should get the dump trigger. Didn't. Let's try. Well, I don't hold much hope this is going to work. Let's try it. Right side. Put that down there. The beauty of place anywhere, right? Been on the ramp kind of crooked. Oh, look. Check that out. It might work. Ah, look at that. That did work. Place anywhere. FTW. So we are limited to 10,000 liters. It does chew through it fairly quickly, though. I can chew through it 3 liters a second. If we sat here, we could basically keep adding it over time. What I'm going to do is we're going to save this. Then we're going to get out and basically say, go fast. Good night. And we should see money pop up. There we go. $3,000, $1,021 worth of biogas income. There you go, guys. That is the placeables for the week of May 6th through May 10th. We have 2 script mods that we're going to come back for. One is going to be a fairly quick one, and then one is going to be a bit more involved in basically talking about and demonstrating. So let me clean all this up and get ready for those. Okay, guys, I wanted to show you this. So I activated the cowboy hat mod. That is the first script mod we're going to take a look at. And as soon as I came in the game, the very first time after activating it, I had this on my screen. Or should I say, I had that on my screen. Okay? I had this big shadowed box in the middle, cowboy hat icon in the upper right, and all the text skewed off to the left. Kind of didn't look very good. When I got into this tractor, everything's centered up, all nice and neat. Basically, we can see this is a little bit of information about the mod, and I was going to show you guys that the mod included a text file. Let me show that to you. Mod included a README file in the mod itself. Go and open up the mod, you'll find several README files of different languages that pretty much give the same general information. But down here, basically, there's a way to go in here and customize your cowboy hat. I'll let you guys read that. I'm not going to be really big into, probably not going to be really big into this mod. This will probably be the only time I use it myself. But you know what? It's pretty cool that you can go in here and really just customize yourself up a kind of cowboy hat. Let's hit enter. Dismiss this, and you can see that my my dude is wearing himself a cowboy hat. Let's get something that's a little bit more out in the open. Oh, I don't have a Mahindra. Be kind of more out in the open. I guess this. Please. So there we go. See my cowboy hat. Let's pull up the F1 menu. And we can see that we can go to insert key, to get our cowboy hat extra display controls. Wait, where? Alright, so we have toggle material type, shift and home, toggle band type, shift and page up. It's going away. And toggle helper hats, shift and page down. Let's go in here. Cowboy hat. Next hat style is home. Next secondary color is page down. And next primary color is page up. Let's see here. Let's hit home. Oh, that is changing. Oh, you have to basically get out. Home. Oh, there we go. Home, home, home. There's the different hat styles. Go with something like that right there. Then we can go page down to get the different band colors. Like so. And then page up to get a different primary hat color. Like so. And then next time we get in, basically have the different hat style, different hat color, and different band color. That's kind of neat, kind of unique, kind of interesting. I guess if we had a horse. Let's see, do we have? We've got horses. We've got horses up here. There's my cowboy hat. Kind of cool. Since it is a script mod, it is limited to PC only. It's not something that I think you can do an ad for console players, sadly. There you go. That's kind of neat, kind of interesting. All right, so there's going to be a little bit of setup for the next script mod. I'm going to go ahead and get that all prepped and then bring you guys in once I've got it all ready to go. Alright guys, so we are up here at the BGA to talk about the last script mod that we're going to talk about this week, and it is the Enhanced BGA. And when I saw this in testing, I was a little curious as to what it was. Kind of had a hope that it was similar to a mod from Farm Sim 17 that I really like to use. I think that one was called BGA Extension. And you know what? It pretty much is the same thing, which I'm really excited about. So what this does is it converts the BGA from basically just a sell point to something a bit more realistic, in my opinion. What it does is it basically causes the digester here to work just 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the evening. So from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., the digester will consume material if there is any in it. And from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., the digester will consume any material that is in it. Between that time frame, anything that's in it just sits there, doesn't do anything. So it basically limits the amount of money that you can earn from the BGA over any one 24-hour period to basically be what the digester can consume over that 2-hour period. So what I've got two big Krone trailers here full of silage. I'm going to go ahead and dump this in here. So it shouldn't take all of this. This trailer is full at 56,000 liters. There we go, 50,000 liters. It is full, and you can see, not doing anything. Nothing. Like the BGA is broke. Move this tractor out of the way. Cut it off. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back here and we're going to speed up time until we get to just before 7 p.m. 3, 4, 5, 6. So, clock forward a little bit until we get to 7 p.m. And there we are. So now we're at 7 p.m. Clock is ticking. This thing is chewing up material at 3 liters every second. So basically, at this point, you could do the math and figure out what the maximum amount of silage you're going to be able to sell over any one given 24-hour period. Now, where this differs from the 17 mod is that the 17 mod, basically, you had to come up here, and if you remember in Farm Sim 17, basically had free access to the BGA from day one on any given map. But in 19, you have to buy the BGA. Okay? Typically on a map, you have to buy the BGA. Well, in 17, what they did to kind of get around the fact that you had insta access to the BGA is that they basically made you have to buy it to start it up. So without buying it, it wouldn't function. So you had to come up here to the hopper in 17. Basically, you had to buy it for like $350,000 or something. Okay, and at that point, it started the BGA up, and it put a little bit of material in the digester, and at that point, you started to earn a little bit of money every game hour. So it may have been like $20 or $30. Not a lot of money, but you started to earn a little bit of money every game hour. And then you'd come in here, you'd put material in. At I think in 17 it started to do it at 8 o'clock as opposed to 7 o'clock in 19. Basically, it would run for 2 hours a day, one in the morning, one in the evening. And as it ran, it basically produced more energy. You could see it in the F1 menu up here. And as it produced more energy, you got more power, money per hour. And at the height, you would get about $25,000 a day just in feeding the digester 2 times a day. And basically, you could feed it like 4 or 5 hay bales in the morning, 4 or 5 hay bales in the evening, and you were done. And, you know, the investment of the hay bales that you would feed it to the amount of power you got was really a good deal. So as you can see, we are chewing through this. Let's go ahead and speed up time and see how much we get through the course of 1 hour. And basically, we have more material. We need to add it. We can basically add more material. So I don't think we're going to go through all 50,000 liters in the course of 1 hour. Go. It is now 8 p.m. Oops. Turn that off. Go around here and take a look. What did we consume? We consumed just about 20,000, no, just about 10,000 liters. That's all we consumed over that hour. So over the period of a full 24-hour period, we're only going to consume about 20,000 liters of silage. Not a lot. So it's going to basically convert the BGA from a massive moneymaker to something that is more or less just providing you a steady trickle of income. Move this out of the way. Let's connect the tractor. And let's go ahead and fast forward past midnight. We earned $1,348 for our BGA efforts. Speed up until morning. We're at 7 a.m. again. Once again, chewing through material. Speed up. We're down to 36,000. Let's go to 7 p.m. We're once again chewing through material. There we go. Now we're down to 26,000. And let's go to midnight. See what the amount of money we earned. Now I am on easy. Okay. And easy, BGA is paying me out $0. Huh. Speed on up. What we get paid out here. So $5,830, basically for every day, all day long. All we gotta do is just keep this thing fed every so often. Keep her topped off, if you will. Miss a couple hour feedings, no big deal, because it seems to only consume about 10,000 liters per feeding time. Now, another feature that the Farm Sim 17 version of this had, or not version of this, but the mod that was most similar to this, it was BGA extension in 17. In 19, it's enhanced BGA, is that it added the ability to basically use potatoes and sugar beets in your BGA. You can see this basically has changed things, so we can add slurry and manure here to the BGA. We can add silage and I don't know, is that hay? Is that straw? Is it grass? I don't know. We can add whatever that is, and we can basically get the same general amount of money every game day as a result. Guys, that is basically it. That is the script mods and the placeables that were released this week. That week is May 6th through May 10th, 2019 in the Farm Sim Giants Mod Hub. So I'll be back next week. What kind of mods get released next week? And till then, happy farming.